Welcome back to the GSL Code S. It's time for another Protoss versus Zerg. It's going to be Stats against Curious. Look, I think Stats is the favorite here, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Now with how well Curious played in that last game.
Yeah, Curious basically, took my feelings about this group and like shattered them and threw them all over the floor. Like,
I mean, he was so solid. He had perfect game understanding. His engagements were really good. I mean, this was a guy who was actually even just shaving off a gateway here at one location, taking out a cybernetic score, backing up. Every engagement he had against Paralyze was in his favor.
Yeah, he made the most out of his units really well. I was very impressed with this play. It seems like his practice is paying off. This is not the same Curious I saw when I was casting him in Code A. He's evolved somehow.
I mean, we'll see how he does against Stats, but if he has that momentum from the last game, he's going to do very, very well.
I almost feel like he's just going to do it, like with how well he played. And the series that we saw before, which was oftentimes Roro's mistake more than Stats, is like extremely good Protoss versus Zerg that we saw. I feel like if Curious plays the same type of, like, if he's on top of his game like he was in the previous series, I think he's going to do it now. Which would totally destroy my predictions that I made earlier, which would make me sad. But
well, for your sake, I hope you're right, Wolf. No, I mean, it's kind of exciting to see this new Curious here. Polar Knight. I'm really curious about what Stats has in store for us on this match. Stats has come in with his own style of builds.
Yeah, he certainly has.
And he's made them work very, very effectively already against somebody like Roro, who I'd put in the league ahead of Curious.
Now we'll see what happens.
The winner of this best of 3 will be our player to move on to the round of 16 here. The loser will go on to our final match here in the GSL Code S.
Stats versus Curious.
So our map is Polar Knight. This is a map where the mains have a lot of open area, so you can be harassed here by stalkers or warp prisms from a ton of different angles, dropped here by overlords.
Yeah.
So you want to watch for that here.
Something totally out there. I noticed that Stats' Korean name is Taeyup. I've like never ever heard that name before.
Never met a Taeyup before?
No, that's a pretty.
I don't think I've ever met a Taeyup before either.
That's a pretty unique name, I guess. At least maybe I've not had the pleasure of meeting many Taeyups yet, but like that's a pretty unique name.
See, now Nick is like such a generic name. Everybody's a Nick.
Yeah,
they're always cool though. Strangely enough,
they are always cool. I actually have like, I think I know 5 people named Nick in Seoul.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of Nicks.
There actually are a lot of Nicks in Seoul. This is true.
Like it's like if you're born Nick, you have like a 0.0005 greater chance to move to Seoul.
Move here. Yep,
it's just part of your birth. Well,
we have a gateway at first here. Probably into an expand here for the Protoss.
Yeah. A lot of Korean fans here, none of which are shy.
Nope, none in the shot.
At least not camera shy. Maybe they're like shy to do public speaking, but
not us, Wolf.
Were you actually like in school? Were you nervous to do public speaking ever?
Not really. I mean,
I
was like the lead in the play in 6th grade.
Which play actually did you do?
Oh, I don't know, some stupid play.
Oh, it was like a Christmas Carol.
It was like not some classic play. It was like some play like my school teacher wrote that. Yeah, I forget. I mean, it was, but no. I mean, generally speaking,
I only got nervous when I didn't prepare well, because then I knew like I was just going to stand up there and do a horrible job. That was the only time I got nervous, when I did not prepare well. But generally speaking, for public speaking, if you have to give like a speech for your class for like 5 or 10 minutes, just try preparing and like doing your speech in your room like 3 or 4 times. Then oh my gosh! When you do your speech, you're not going to have any problems. I would recommend that. Like, just actually speak to your cat or something.
Speak to your cat.
So he actually went double hatch before pool here, actually.
Yeah, which isn't bad at all. He's going to get... I think on this map compared to others, this isn't the most common build compared to some of the other maps we have.
That's true. Just going to get some scouting information here with the second Overlord.
And so that spawning pool is about to finish now. Protoss is very shortly here going to get that wall in up and complete over at his expansion, I'm sure that Stats from game number, best of 3 number 1 has learned a lot about how careful he has to be with those wall ends, getting them up in time.
Yeah. I wonder what sort of tech he's going to show us. He's getting the Mothership Core first, so he's not rushing out, Phoenixes, for example. And he did go Gateway first, so he has a very fast warp gate research here.
Yeah, and it looks like he wants to apply some pressure. Drive back the lings. I mean, this was a Zerg that did go for 3 hatches right away. He's getting the Forge now at the entrance here to complete his wall in.
He saw that the timing of the pool was very late with that probe that was in the main base. We saw just how long he kept that there. So he feels comfortable to move out, whereas, it caused him some problems against Roro. Unfortunately, though, he doesn't see these lings that are counterattacking that might do some counter damage to him. Does he have a wall up? No, he does not.
Oh, my God.
And the Mothership Core is not here
I think we know
either.
how to beat Stats.
Yeah, just run around him.
You know what it must be? His training partners early on did not toy with openings like this with lings, because this is the second game where Zerg's just looked at the situation and said, well, I guess I'll just make some lings.
Yeah. How many probes is he going to lose here, actually? Really good micro. Oh, my God. I mean, he
only lost... no.
3, I guess.
3 in that little engagement. 4 total.
Yeah, 4 with the citizens arrest in Maine earlier.
Yeah.
10 more drones coming out here. Curious, completely droning after that little pressure. That was, I mean, it wasn't an immense amount of damage, but it was very annoying for Stats to deal with that.
Well, it's just funny to see that in all the games that we've had with Stats, he's had some problem with the wall-in early on. Yeah. I guess it goes to show you why we don't see the exact same kind of wall-ins and openers like from him specifically.
This is probably not going to get anything done now, though, that he has so many units here, unless he gets his Stalkers caught, on the other hand.
Now the Stalkers go ahead and back up, and he tightens that wall-in with the Zealot.
Curious is droning up so hard behind this.
Yeah, really nicely done. 50 drones now, with more on the way.
He also knows, because of his scouting, that there's no Stargate coming his way that he has to make Spore Crawlers for, or no robotics follow-up where he's going to be dealing with an Immortal timing, so he's free to drone like crazy.
In fact, we just have gateways being planted here now, so we're going to have a total of, 4 gates here, excuse me.
Yeah. He might just try to put on some 4 gateway zealot pressure, but I mean, now it's been scouted.
I mean, one thing to note is that, no, he's going to go ahead and get the Twilight Councils. This might be like +2 Blink Stalkers?
Yeah, that's what it starts to look like. I think that's a good assessment. He looks like he wants to just poke out here, force more lings to be made, and then potentially recall back instead of drones, And then once he's able to do that, then he just continues to follow up with his Blink attack. We might see him make a 3rd Nexus and then not really use it, just like we saw in the previous series that he played.
He gets that Nexus now. Yeah, that was interesting with the 3rd Nexus that we saw prior, because he wasn't mining from it. Yeah. It was just there. And so when the counterattack came in with the Roaches to try to hit that, it didn't do anything.
Yeah, he was just like, I don't care, that's fine. It became a problem, on the other hand, that his production was there and he did get unpowered. But, disrupting mining-wise, didn't lose anything. You're exactly right.
He also didn't unpower that immediately with that attack. He actually sent 3 Roaches, which is the more natural thing to do, send 3 Roaches behind the minerals, right? Yeah. And from here, he continues to apply pressure now.
They're just trying to poke a little bit. He's always circumventing Stats' army, just like we saw him do in the previous series against Paralyzed. Just always having a group of units to keep the Frost army back. But look at this, man. He's adding the Robo for the Observer. He's getting a ton more gateways, and this timing attack is going to be very strong, very scary. And I don't really think he's going to utilize that Nexus all too much. I mean, mining-wise, with probes, Chrono Boost would be another story.
Well, I mean, the sheer power here that Curious is going to have here when these next 2 hatches finish and production's up, 63 drones to 45 probes. Warp gates finishing, and this is going to be synced up pretty well with the +2 attack and the Blink upgrade. Lots of Roaches, burrow, and movement coming here.
Yeah, this is a really, really good position for Curious with some of his units coming over here to try to catch reinforcements. Yeah, he has a macro hatch. He's got a lot of extra larvae.
The force field was really nice there. And now Time Warp there, and actually a terrifyingly large number of Roaches. Some of them even continuing to come around here now.
Yeah.
Curious just has basically too much. He's warping in Stalkers now, but the Roaches are just closing in, and he is going to have to warp back out. And Curious, really impressive play there. I mean, absolutely not
He wrecked that
worry.
push,
Yeah,
man.
shut that down.
Look at the supply here. He's
R-E-K-T, man.
Yeah.
Wrecked.
Pregasm.
Fregasm.
Here we go. This is the end.
GG, yeah. Wow.
That build just did
He's
not.
like, that build does not work. Don't do that, Stats.
Yeah.
Quote Curious 2014. Put it on his tombstone. Damn.
I'm gonna get that on my car, man. That's my bumper sticker.
Yeah, man. Stats is like, wow, what?
What even just happened there? He got shut down so hard. Curious had that third base up for so long.
It's clear the force fields did not even matter. There were just too many roaches. I mean,
he didn't have a warp prism or anything to warp in yet. His pylon wasn't ready. He waited for that pylon to warp in instead of warping it at another pylon and just happened to
did he have
just walk
probes
up.
at the third base?
No, none.
He had none, right?
He stopped at 45, just like we saw
in the game against
on Alterzim against Roro.
Roro, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who's the other player in our
Basically the same type of
versus
attack.
group?
But different map, different timing, but Curious is on fire today.
Yeah, Curious is looking primed to just shoot right out of this group.
And Alterzim again is the map that Stats picks.
Okay, I wonder if this is going to work now because I'm assuming he's going to use the same strategy. 8 gateways, probes halted, 3 immortals, warp prism. But I mean, Curious is allowed to watch the games in the studio when he's not playing, so you have to wonder if you simply know this is coming, A, will Curious really lose to it, and B, if Stats doesn't do it, does he have a strategy that's going to be as efficient?
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm wondering, man. And I don't know, like, I hope he does it again, actually, so we could see how Curious responds differently from Roro. That's one reason why in groups that we get to see the same matchup over and over again with different players. I really like to see how players adapt to, for example, watching, like you said, the matches that happened before. And Curious is probably thinking about this a lot. He's like, are you just going to do the same thing? You picked this map last time. I watched you.
All right, game number 2. Curious, never failing to impress here, is now going up against the map of choice here for Stats. Will he crush him here, or will we go to game number 3? We're going to find out soon here at GOMTV.